Hello everyone, and in this video we are going to tackle about the destination branding and positioning. So first, let us go through the content list, kung ano ang nakapaloob dito sa ating topic. First is the introduction of brand, next different terminologies, and then next is different levels of destination branding. Fourth is destination brand management, which has 5 subtopics, and these are stakeholders, positioning, promotion, monitoring, and application and examples. And lastly, benefits of strong destination brands. So first up, dito muna tayo sa introduction of brand. So, si brand as defined by American Marketing Association 2011, Aker 2001, and Keller 2003. Si brand, isa siyang name, logo, slogan, or any feature na makakapag-identify ng isang seller's goods and services. So, according to Aker and Keller, si branding ang pinaka-strategic way para makapag-attract ng consumers. Ibig sabihin, you differentiate your products kahit na meron itong may product yung iba mong competitors. Next.
Different terminologies of place branding. So we have 4 types of brandings, and this is the place branding, nation branding, country branding, and destination branding. But first, we will discuss about the place branding. It brands a place like a maliit na lugar sa isang country, kasama na dito yung cities, regions, districts, or even neighborhoods. For example, sa Philippines, yung Angeles, known as Independent City sa Pampanga. Kaya malakas ang pag-brand sa kanya for urban cities. Next is nation branding and country branding. Their similarities is pareho silang nagpo-promote as a whole country. But nation brand promote desirable place sa tourists at reputation and image ng ibang country. For example, yung slogan ni India na Incredible India. It builds a reputation and image of India. This slogan showcase the image of India, kaya siyang tinawag na Incredible India. And for country branding, it promotes desirable country for business such as investors, mga pwedeng makatulong sa ekonomiya and competitive advancement and strength ng country na yon. For example, New Zealand na 100% pure. It has idea na ibig sabihin pure and natural resources, kaya masasabing success ang business niya kasi pure and 100% siya. And for destination branding naman, promoting the country itself for unique resources nang sa ganon maka-attract ng more tourists. Si destination branding, ito yung pagkakakilanlan kasi as a whole na ang yung sakop niya. Next. Destination management and marketing. Dito, mamimit natin si 4Ps, which is the product, price, place, promotion. First, the product. For example, Siargao. And the price niya for all services is 5,800. Yung target place niya naman is yung mga travel agent. And for promotion, paano siya maipapromote? Ito, by advertising through social media, which is during summer month. Cutler and Gertner, 2002. Next. Cutler and Gertner, 2002. Yung pinapoint out dito, pag ang destination or country meron strong brand image, makaka-attract siya ng more tourists and also businessmen. And for Bramwell and Rowding 1996 and Chen and Kirst 1999, dito naman advanced technology. It can increase competition. Kumbaga, ito yung maghahatak ng tourist kasi pag di mo na-adapt yung advanced technology, paano ka makaka-attract ng more tourists? Next.
So the next topic is different levels of destination branding. So, relevant dito itong picture na nasa right, yung apat na layers. Layers yung tatawagin natin dyan. So first, i-identify muna natin si destination. So according to Pike 2004, si destination daw is a geographical location with resources like natural and man-made attractions, infrastructure and superstructure which are to be discussed later on, and facilities na makakapag-accommodate ng needs and wants ng people. So, yung mga resources na ito, these can attract people to visit and stay temporarily in that destination for either business or leisure purposes. So, etong mga layers na to, isa-isahin natin sila. So, dito kasi, as you can see, from small scale, lalaki siya ng lalaki hanggang sa maging bigger scale na siya. First is operational level destination brands. Ito yung mga hotels, restaurants, resorts. Maliliit lang to kasi naka-locate sila sa isang specific location pa lang. And then, the second one, lalaki, is single governance local destination brand. Ito na yung mga attraction sites, villages, yung mga city, pati yung probinsya na binabrand natin. And then lalaki naman siya sa pangatlo, which is multi-governance local destination brands. Dito na pumapagitna si regions, states, at yung mismong country na. And then lalaki naman sa pinakalas is global destination brands. Ito na yung may iba ng country, multi-country regions, and yung mismong continents ng mundo, ng Earth. So yung layers na to, meron siyang bidirectional influence. Pag sinabing bidirectional influence, vice versa yung influence ng isang brand, which is yung dalawa, inside out and outside in. So dahil nga mutual yung pagiging affected ng brand, unahin natin si inside out. Si inside out, other words, from small scale to bigger scale. From operational level to global destination brands. Sunod-sunod. Kapag outside in naman, pabaliktad. Mauuna sa bigger scale hanggang sa mapunta kay smaller scale. Ibig sabihin, from global destination brands dito sa picture, hanggang sa paliit ng paliit kay operational level. Ganon. So, yung bidirectional influence na ito, yung performance, for example, si operational level, si hotel, ang performance niya, apektado yung tatlo. Yun yung pa-inside out. Vice versa din. Ang performance ni global destination brands, apektado yung pa-outside in, maaapekto yung hotel. So, ganon. Ibig sabihin, the bigger the entity, of course, the harder to brand the destination and reach success kasi nga napaka-complex. Kasi kapag palaki ng palaki yan, palawak ng palawak ang responsibilidad. So, consistency is a must. Kailangan ang consistency, and kapag na-success ang consistency, magkakaroon ng synergy. Pag sinabing synergy, the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. So, kapag ipagsama-sama mo pa lahat ng performance ng operational, single governance, multi, and yung global, kapag ipagsama-sama mo lahat yan to sum its parts, mas malaki ang expectation ng whole as a destination kapag may synergy. Kumbaga, ano na yan, highest level na siya ng branding. So, next. Dito naman tayo sa destination brand management. So, si destination brand management, in managing a brand, hindi lang basta-basta matatapos yan sa pag-disseminate ng logo nyo, ng name, hindi lang dyan. Kaya kailangan ng comprehensive research, development of attractions, management of events, pati yung IMC, mababanggit din yan mamaya. And of course, monitoring. So, dito, wala namang tinatawag na one-fits-all type of strategy. Kumbaga, kapag isa lang ang gagamiting strategy, hindi yan magiging applicable sa mga ibang destination kasi every destination has its own unique features. Kapag isa lang ang strategy, hindi yan magiging applicable sa lahat. Ganon siya. Kaya dapat continuous monitoring and researching ang kailangan. And of course, kapag branding, hindi lang basta-basta name, logo, etc. Kailangan itong dalawang to, which is infrastructure and superstructure. Si infrastructure, ito yung transportation, water, internet, lahat ng communication sa isang destination. And then superstructure, kunwari, si safety and security, pati yung rights ng isang consumer. Nandito na rin yung preservation and conservation ng mga attractions na nakapaloob dun sa destination na yun. So, yung dalawang ito, kapag na-manage ng mabuti at tuloy-tuloy, ibig sabihin, mas ma-exceed pa yung satisfaction ng human needs, ng mga needs ng turista. So, ibig sabihin, kapag na-exceed ang satisfaction na yun, lalo lang magiging enjoyment doon sa mga na-experience ng turista. Next. So, dito naman tayo sa subtopics ni Destination Brand Management. First is stakeholders. So, aware naman siguro tayo lahat at narinig na natin yung word na stakeholders. Ito yung mga tao or organizations na apektado sa lahat ng ginagawa ng isang destination. So, for example, LGU, locals, visitors, turista, pati na rin yung mga travel agents, news media, lahat sila apektado. So, dito kay Morgan and Tashi and Gartner, sabi nila, involvement of stakeholders and yung support nila, importante niya kapag para makatulong sa successful destination branding. Then, meron tayong focus dito na dalawa. Una si Ollins, 2002, yung sa kanya, gobyerno. Government hold the power and control over resources. So, alam naman natin, yung gobyerno, they are for the greater good of the society. So, ibig sabihin, meron dapat silang leadership role sa mga paghawak ng resources. Kaya, for Go and Cluster, kailangan daw gamitin natin yung bottom-up approach instead of top-down. Kumbaga, maging leader instead of bossy. Unahin at laging uunahin ang locals. Hanggang mag-expand yan ng mag-expand na involved na lahat, involved as a whole country. Yun na yun. And then yung pangalawa naman, si Henderson, Knott, and Cluster, yung kanila, si local community naman. As I've said earlier, locals are very important and key stakeholders sila kasi pareho silang involved sa supply and demand ng isang destination. Therefore, according to Hart, kailangan ng public diplomacy. When we say public diplomacy, ito yung pag-encourage ng mga authorities sa mga locals nila para mag-volunteer at mag-participate as destination brand ambassadors. Sila magiging face of the country. Yun. Next. So, next subtopic is positioning. Sa positioning naman, sabi nila Crompton et al., Echner and Ritchie, Gartner, Alhemond and Armstrong, Kotler, Baloglu, Mark Clearly, Chen and Kirstet, pati na si Kotler. Yung kanila definition ni positioning is establishing a favorable distinctive place in the minds of target market. Actually, napag-aralan na yan natin dati. Ito yung pagiging top of mind sa mga turista, sa isip ng mga turista. Kapag sinabing positioning, meron tayong three issues. Una, si market segment. Ito yung travelers have different preferences, interests, and needs. So, isa-segment natin sila into behavioral, psychological, demographic, and geographic. Yun. Parang i-disseminate natin sila kung saan sila nararapat. Yun yung market segment. Next is image of the destination brand. So, kailangan ma-maintain yung image na pinapakita natin doon sa na-segment nating mga target market. For example, yung Aurora Fest, di ba 2 days yon? Ang first day for Gen Z, while the second day is for millennials. Iba yung image na pinoportray. Yung mga banda or OPM singers doon sa day 1 is for Gen Z, while classics yung nasa day 2 kasi for millennials. Yun yung image na pinoportray ng Aurora Fest. And then lastly, strong destination brand features. Ito yung mga may iisip na ano-ano yung mga potential features ng destination na yon para makatulong na magkaroon ng strong, lalo lang mapalakas yung destination brand ng isang place. So, kailangan i-enhance ito at ma-promote ng tuloy-tuloy para ma-maintain yung pagkaroon ng strong destination brand. So, next. Next naman is promotion. Oh, sorry. So, bago tayo mag-promotion, meron pala tayong 4 on how to position a destination brand. So, first is assessment of the image of destination attributes in current and potential target markets, preferably comparison with close competitors. Yung sabi ko nga kanina, kailangan nating i-segment yung target market and then mag-portray tayo ng specific image sa bawat segment para makapag strong destination brand tayo. Especially when you compare yourself with other competitors, kung ano yung mas maganda sa'yo. Ganun yan. And then yung pangalawa is multi-product branding strategy. Ito yung binabrand yung isang tourist attraction as a standalone or an independent brand na may own the identity kahit nasa under siya ng destination mo. For example, si Boracay, White Sands. Known siya sa pagiging pristine beach, ganon. Kaso, ang sabi ni Lovelock 1991, kapag long-term nagagamitin mo si multi-product branding strategy, kailangan linked pa rin siya kay parent brand name. Pag sinabi natin parent brand name, ito yung pinaka-official brand ng isang destination, which is, in our case, si Philippines. Ang parent brand name ni Boracay is si Philippines. Ganun siya. So, kailangan ng catchy slogans para magkaroon ng mental fix yung mga target market pa doon sa Boracay, kaso associated pa rin siya sa parent brand name na Philippines. Example dito is yung Jollibee Foods Corporation para mas maano tayo. Si Jollibee Foods Corporation ang parent brand. While yung multi-product brand is si Jollibee, si Greenwich, si Chowking, si Mang Inasal. Stand-alone sila. Pero ang parent brand name nila, si JFC. Ganun siya. And then third is brand differentiated. Differentiation is not based on the objective use or yung practical use ng pinurchase na product. Hindi naman yung kabud na lang gagamitin pagka-purchase. Hindi. Kailangan may subjective and intangible aspects pa rin. Ito yung emotional connection ng consumer kapag nakikita nila yung symbols, logos, or names ng na-purchase nilang product from that destination brand. Ganun siya. So, according that to Poise 1989. And the fourth, kay Kotler, medyo self-explanatory na to. Yung gagawin mong destination brand, kailangan importante, relevant, memorable, and believable sa target market mo. Siyempre, kapag gusto mong gawing memorable sa kanila, kailangan unique, kailangan maganda, kailangan special. Ganun yung gustong i-deliver ng strong destination brand. So, next naman is yung kay Chaco. Ito, yung kay Chaco naman, focus siya sa mga slogan na gagawin para sa isang destination brand. So, kailangan short, clear, and meaningful. May message na pinoportray ang slogan. So, si slogan, pwedeng gumamit ng, for example, reasons for visit. Ito yung bakit pupunta ang isang target market. For example, si Mexico, yung yung slogan niya is, the meeting place for sun worshippers. So, yung target market niya dito is yung mga mahilig sa sunset, sa sunrise, ganun. Meron ding tatlo dito, yung product class, users of class of users, tsaka yung price value. Ganun siya. Next. And the third subtopic ni management is promotion. So, si promotion, according to Gunn, Hunt, Goodrich, Riley, Bojanic, Fay K. and Crampton, McKay and Feisenmeyer, Sirakaya and Sonmez, si promotion, importante siya kasi ito yung parang virtual reality bago magkaroon ng actual visitation. Ito yung mga visuals na nakikita ng mga potential consumer bago sila pumunta doon sa mismong destination. Yun yung role ni promotion. And then, add lang namin is promotion is about creating awareness. Of course, doon sa virtual na representation. And then, generating interest, syempre, magge-generate sila sa utak ng mga consumer na, ay, ano kayang dito? Parang, ano kayang meron dito? Nagiging interesado sila in terms of promotion. And then lastly, stimulating desire. Ito na yung pagmo-motivate na gusto kong pumunta dito according to the consumers. Ganun yung naiisip nila. So, under promotion, si advertising. Si advertising, focus siya sa visual aspects ni promotion. Kasi ito yung nagpo-portray ng actuality of the destination. Kung ano ang nakikita mo sa picture, dapat yun din ang nakikita mo sa actual visitation ng destination. Ganun siya. And then lastly, si IMC or Integrated Marketing Communication. Ito yung mga channels, mediums na ginagamit para ma-disseminate yung information or promotion ng isang destination. So, kailangan kapag dinedeliver ng IMC, kailangan unidirectional, pare-pareho, concerted, and consistent. So, pwedeng gamitin dito is media campaigns, tourism fairs, events, advertising, yun. Meron ding online advertising like travel vlogs and emails, yung personalized emails. Tsaka brochures. Meron ding co-branding. Ganun siya. And then, according to Home, kaya nga ito yung mga channel. Goal ni IMC is to influence people's perceptions and behaviors to the product being promoted. Yung strategically planned communication approach, ito yon si IMC mismo. So, next.
Destination brand monitoring. Destination brands are living entities with high potential to change and evolve over time. Parang isang product tulad ng cellphone. For example, smartphones like Nokia, Cherry Mobile, at iba pa, na makaluma na at wala nang masyadong bumibili ng product ngayon. Dahil sa pabago-bagong sitwasyong pang-ekonomiya, meron na tayong uso or patok ngayon ng mga bagong brand tulad ng iPhone 15 kung saan merong good quality ng camera at video kumpara sa mga lumang brand ng cellphone at may high storage pa. According to Baker 2007, Tassi, and Gartner 2007, they have to be monitored, evaluate, maintained, tailored to fit change and environment. Kung saan sinasabi dito dahil sa pabago-bagong sitwasyong pang-ekonomiya at pabago-bagong consumer taste, kailangan din nating i-update when it comes to brand monitoring dahil isa din itong advantage para sa mga kakompetensya. For example, singer ka at alam mo lahat ng mga songs na mga bago ngayon sa ating generation at magkanda ka ng isang concert para sa mga kabataan. Dahil dito, isa itong advantage para makahikayat ng mga kabataan kumpara kung magkanda ka ng concert sa kabataan kaso alam mo lang mga old songs. Isa itong disadvantage para sa iyo. Like another example here in CCA, nagkaroon tayo ng concert in 2 days. At kinuha nilang mga artist is yung mga bago uso ngayon na maganda pakinggan at gustong-gusto nating mga kabataan. Tulad nila Maki, MRLD at iba pa na yun nila ang panahon kung saan isa itong advantage sa mga kabataan na pumunta. Another example is Logo About It's More Fun in the Philippines. Dahil sa katagalan ng panahon at halos 10 years na, nagbago sila ng update at ginawa nila itong Love the Philippines. On environmental factors, dramatic impact on destination brand image according to Milo at Yoder 1991, Sonmes et al. 1999, kung saan isa itong malaking impact to destination especially country level, man-made cause disaster and terrorist attack. Aba big impact, for example, Mindanao kilala bilang maraming gulo, maraming terorista at nagkaroon ng marawi na dahilan para maging negative vision sa place. But para maging positive image, they offer effective management plan under Mindanao. Like Davao, considered safest place to visit. At dahil dito, nare-remove ang negative thinking of a place dahil sa tulong when it comes to destination brand monitoring.
So, proceed naman tayo dito sa application and examples. So, Oregon Tourism Commissions or Oregon Things Looks Different Here campaign. So, si Oregon is isa siyang campaign na na-launch noong 1987 to unify Oregon brand by marrying tourism and economic development under the umbrella message that Oregon daw has a unique lifestyle, natural environment, and sense of place. So, na-required lahat ng mga tourism regions na suportado ng state lottery funds na gamitin yung same brand Oregon look sa travel advertising materials nila na dinevelop ng Tourism Commission or TC and Advertising Agency. So, to portray Oregon as a destination for visitors, a desired site for business investment and relocation, a great place to live for current residents and future workforce, and nagpo-produce din sila ng high-quality goods and services. So, this campaign used top-down or autocratic approach. So, pag sinabi nating autocratic approach is kinokontrol siya ng isang leader. Hence, thought Oregon authorities that successful branding can be facilitated by these 4 factors. So, ang una is developing marketing message that values community pride, environmental stewardship, progressive thinking, and innovation and quality. Second is nagpo-provide daw sila ng data, guidelines, and resources sa mga stakeholders rather than forcing the campaign that is viewed as restrictive and bureaucratic. Third is staying the course to achieve success in brand name, awareness, and image development instead of changes frequently. So dito naman, nag-stay lang sila sa isang brand, hindi nila pinapalitan yung flow or yung mga naka-include sa brand. Ang ginagawa lang nila dito is ine-enhance lang nila instead na papalit-palit sila ng ginagawa. Last is coordinating local initiative and programs and acquiring reasonable funds and commitment instead of forcing them. So, ang example ko dito is yung sa Marikina, kung familiar kayo dun sa Marikina shoes. Dito naman sa example na to is involve yung mga locals sa isang community. Next is destination brands and logos.
Destination brand logos. When it comes to destination brand logos, it represents destination related to culture. Some symbol or logo ginamit pareho ng flag to symbolize their logo like Britain, Sweden, and USA. Ang iba naman uses significant symbol as red dragon that symbolize the Hong Kong. Some prepare displaying attractions based on sun and nature, tulad ng Spain na parang hugis araw. Ecuador naman na para mayroong likas na yaman tulad ng isda at prutas na nakapaloob dito. Also Poland na kinukumpara sa puno at bundok. Australia as kangaroo dahil ang Australia ay kilala sa pagkakaroon ng maraming kangaroo at ang huli ay Brazil, sinisimbolo ang tubig. But Holland and Turkey are used the same tulip symbol on logo. But may pagkaiba-iba silang meaning cause of different culture. Dahil ang Turkey galing sa Ottoman Empire in the year of 1718 to 1730 at ang Holland naman or Netherlands ay kilala sila bilang supply ng tulip. This logo sa good strategy kung saan mapapamiliarize tayo for visual symbol to represent.
So next is destination brand slogan. Destination brand slogan, ito yung paggamit ng catchy phrases upang maka-attract ng tourists. It is need to clearly deliver by a target market. Hindi lang siya bastang-bastang word ginagamit, kundi may uniqueness. Pag common word kasi, parang di siya magandang pakinggan. So dapat yung tatak talaga. Through this, maka-attract tayo ng more tourists. Some destinations use different slogan for different target markets with different interests. Bakit? Kasi they depend on our culture and its target market nang sa ganon maka-attract ng maraming turista. Next. Next is the destination brand identity, character, and personality. Ang sabi ni Keller and Aker, dito naman yung paghahalin tulad ng isang destination as a human. For example, yung Japan. Alam niyo naman na ang Japan ay palaging nakaka-encounter ng mga natural disasters, but they are able to stand tall kasi sila ay resilient. For Aker, brand personality reflecting the set of human characteristics. Like sa given example kay Keller, na ang Japan is resilient. Dito, malalaman mo if successful ba ang isang brand. Keller, creating a unique and favorable associations in consumer memory. Ito yung kumbaga, tumatak sa tourist kasi may uniqueness. And lastly, for Fournier, use strong emotional ties between consumer and the brand. Malalaman mo kapag success yung destination branding kasi tatak talaga siya sa consumer. For example, sa akin, sa Mindanao, malapit siya sa puso ko kasi ito yung kinagisnan kong lugar at dito ako lumaki. At nandito din yung family ko. So, Mindanao has strong emotional ties for me. Next.
So, dito naman tayo sa benefits of strong destination brands. The first one is Sibley noong 2005. It says here that a strong destination brand with quality reduces perceived risk like physical, social, financial, psychological risk and reassure the consumer satisfaction. So, for example, kay Blaine, ang destination is yung Enchanted Kingdom. Ang dito naman is ang pinapahiwatig nila sa isang tourist is quality yung mga rides na sinasakyan nila. Safety, and dun papasok yung reduced risk kasi nga ina-assure mo yung mga consumer mo, yung consumer satisfaction na safe sumakay dun sa rides ng Enchanted Kingdom. Next is Kairasize 2010. A successful destination brand occurs when the consumer develops topophilia. So when we say topophilia, this is a love of place in which they develop an emotional link with the destinations. So for example, you went to a destination which is Boracay. So during ng pagstay mo doon ng 5 days, naka-feel ka ng topophilia or a love of place. And then ang ending nun, parang gusto mo nang maging local residents doon because of the emotional link with the destination. Next naman, yung kay Tashi and Gartner noong 2009. A successful destination brand exists when visitation of large number of people is induced by a positive relationship with it. It's because it provides values not found in other places. So, kay Gashi and Gartner, noong 2009, ang sinasabi dito is positive relation. So, for example, pag narinig mo yung word na Baguio, so, syempre, ang papasok sa isip ng mga ibang tao is pina-follow nila yung protocols nila when it comes to highway, and hindi binabawal yung pag-smoking, also yung mga pagtapon ng basura sa tamang tapunan, and also yung way of thinking ng mga tao doon, and kung paano sila mag-act as a local. Next is benefit of strong destination brands pa rin tayo, which is yung kay Aker noong 1991 and yung kay Keller noong 1993, also Cutler and Armstrong. It says here that a successful destination brand achieves consumer-based brand equity. So pag sinabi natin consumer-based brand equity, ito yung mga nagbe-base sa mga nafe-feel ng mga customers natin or yung mga naiisip nila about dun sa brand na pinapromote. And dito naman kay Gartner noong 2007, like tangible products, a destination products, brand equity includes these 6, which is the first one is awareness and familiarity about the destinations. Dito naman, pag narinig mo ang word na Boracay, ma-aware ka na and makikurious ka na sa isang destinations. Papasok na siya sa isip mo kung ano yung mga possible things or activities na pwede mong gawin sa Boracay. Next is association and image comprising knowledge about destinations, attributes, and feelings generated by this knowledge. So dito, makikurious ka na sa isang destinations kung ano yung, nai-imagine mo na kung ano yung, kung paano yung service nila, kung ano yung mga possible na activities na pwede mong gawin doon sa Boracay. Third is quality of service and tangible aspect of the destinations. From the word itself, quality of service, dito papasok yung kung paano ka i-welcome ng mga staff doon sa Boracay, and yung quality of service kung sa pagkain, sa accommodation, kung nag-exceed ba yung expectation mo dun sa service na pinrovide nila sa'yo, and tangible aspect of the destinations. Dito naman papasok yung mga souvenirs na gawa ng mga locals sa isang destination or sa Boracay. Fourth is the value in terms of the difference between costs and benefits of visiting the destinations. So dito naman, papasok yung costs and benefits kapag, for example, in cost na nag-book ka ng flight pa Boracay and then medyo pricey siya. And then dun papasok kung yung benefits, kung nag-gain ba yung kung nag-gain ba yun sa ginawa mong decisions about pag-travel sa isang destinations, which is yung Boracay nga. Fifth naman is brand value in terms of price premiums that can be charged for the destination's products compared with competitors who have similar products. So dito papasok yung dalawang competitors, which is, for example, is yung Palawan and Boracay. Silang dalawang destinations is may ino-offer silang same activity, which is snorkeling. Si Palawan, ang price ng snorkeling niya is, let's say, 5,000. And then si Boracay naman, na ang ino-offer niya ring activity is si snorkeling, which is 10,000. Doon papasok yung brand value in terms of price, na bakit mas mahal si Boracay na snorkeling compare kay Palawan na pares lang naman sila ng oras. Pares lang naman sila ng gagawin.